Hi, I'm Miss Kim, the Art Link instructor at the Music Connection Conservatory of Music and Art. Today we are going to be painting with acrylics, just a few colors, making a beach scene, bringing the paradise to you. So I'm so excited to begin. So here we are, we're about to start our beach picture with acrylic paints. Before we begin, I want to go over a few things. So I did paint a beach scene on canvas, a 9 by 12 inch canvas. I even painted the sides, so when you do paint on your canvas, be sure to get your sides. The other choice you can do is mixed media paper like I have here. It's in a spiral form, it's perforated, so you could just bend it and rip it out slowly and carefully to get your sheet of mixed media paper. This one's kind of smooth. Strathmore is a good brand to work with, and it's also 9 inches and 9 by 12 inches. So here is that, and you'll see it will buckle a little bit, but that's okay. It's supposed to because the water creates that effect. But after it's dry, you can take, like, say, cardstock or some good heavy duty paper and frame white or black around your picture all the way around. I don't have a big enough piece here, but it gives you the idea. So you can do that. You could just glue it on and it'll be nice and flat to display. Or you could put it in a picture frame if you'd like. So we are going to paint on mixed media paper today, but if you have canvas, you're welcome to do so. And I'll leave the example here so you can see the end result. But before I begin with the painting, I want to talk about value. So here is a black and white value scale with pencil. It starts really dark here and it goes down into grayer, 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 all the way to the white. That's a value scale of black and white. Justin picture this with blue and white. So dark blue here goes down into lighter colors of blue into the white. Same idea here. And then even with the water part, it'll be dark and it'll go down to a lighter, not necessarily white, but lighter blue. So more like will fall into this range here for the water. Okay, so that is how you'll learn about value. That's an important art word to know. I'm going to take this away and then we're going to begin. I'm going to put the examples up above, as you can see. So I have the mixed media water paper that takes water and paint very well. Here are the brushes I'll be working with. So a 1.5 inch to 1 inch wide, great one to sweep the color across for both the water, the sky and the water. I got a few of them here because then I can clean the brushes and use another one. I also have some round brushes for using to create the bark or the trunk of the palm trees. And then a little bit finer, we both have like a little bit of a tip to create the palm leaf and brushing down the leaves effect for that. So here's my palette. It's paper plate. I have a dark blue. I use Artist Soft, but you can use any brand. In a black, I have for the palms later, for the silhouette. And white, paper towel, and some water. I have an old margarine container I use for my water to clean my brushes. So let's begin. This is a short demo, and I'm not going to do the whole picture. I'm just going to do a part of it so then you can take your time to do the rest of it. I like to start with my 1.5 inch brush here. I like to prime my brushes like this, kind of soften them up, because sometimes they get kind of hard when they're haven't been worked with, and they get kind of rock hard. So if you do this, it helps loosen those brushes up. I'm going to dip my brush into the water and take the excess, dab it on my brush, paper towel, and get some blue. And I am going to start right now on my paper, sweeping across to create the sky. I have a table cover on my kitchen table, and you should have some protection for your table, and ask your parents. And you go ahead and create that beautiful blue sky up in the background, as you see here. And I'm going back and forth, making sure I have plenty of paint on my brush. I can add a little water, a little on the paper towel, and do a little more dabbing of the blue and going back and forth to create that beautiful blue sky. Okay, and I sometimes flip my brush so I make sure I have plenty of paint on my brush. Now here I want to take a little bit of the white and mix it with the blue to create that mid-tone blue, because we're going to go down in color, gradating down to a lighter blue as we go down. And so here I come to bring this in. It's a medium colored blue caused by mixing a little white within your blue. You can add a little water, dab your paper towel, make sure your paint's pretty wet, not too thick, and you can kind of blend it into the darker sky like I'm doing here. Then I take a little more white, mix it on my paper plate, both sides, and really mix it nice like that. And then I'm going to go back in and go back and forth. I can add a little water, and I'm going to get a little more white and mix it in, both sides of my brush, and get back in there and go back and forth. While it's all wet, you want to kind of work fast because acrylic paint dries quickly. So you need to stay working on it so the blendability can occur, because if it dries, it's hard to blend the colors. But if it should, don't worry. You can always wet your brush and get in there and start creating that wetness again onto your canvas or your mixed media paper. All right, I'm going to take some more white, mix it in the blue, get a lighter blue. So now I'm getting to the horizon line. As you can see here, I dropped a little bit of paint on my picture. That's okay. See, it's water soluble. I can wipe it with my finger. Later, I'll wash it off. Here's the horizon line that I'm talking about. That's where the sky meets the water. So right here, I'm getting lighter, and I'm going into white a little more, mixing it, and I'm going to create that horizon line kicking in here where it's really light there where the sun is setting. And I'm going to make a nice straight line with my brush. And I'll add a little water because I can feel it getting dry. Just add a little more water so you can create that blendability. Glides across your paper real nice. So this is my sky. It's looking really good. And if we have a little bit of white in there, that could be like some little bit of clouds in the sky. It's okay. And your picture should not look exactly like mine. It's your picture. But we're trying to achieve the dark to the light effect. That's a very important part of the value. And I'm adding a little more white down here so we can have that blended gradient color of blue from dark blue, medium to light. Okay. Now I'm going to put this brush in the water. I'm going to grab a new brush. I'm going to start doing the water. Wet my brush, take the excess off, dip it in my paper, and now I'm going to go for dark blue again. This is the water in the distance when you're sitting on a beach on a tropical island. And there you go. You could just take your brush and make that horizon line nice and neat and go real smoothly across. Never picking your brush up. Just stay on it and pull it right across nice and neat. All the way down. I went over a couple times and that's okay. There's a little bit of bumpiness here. Let me try to smooth that out a little more. I can even go this way if I need to. You want to try to have a nice sharp line. And it can be a little bit of a challenge, so you just go back in and do like so. Just kind of draw your line in there and then sweep it across pretty straight as best as you can. Okay? Don't be too hard on yourself. It's not perfect. It's okay. This is your first time maybe working on creating a sky and water scene. Now I added a little more water and see how it's almost like a watercolor effect. I'm going back and forth. And then I'm going to add a little more white in there because as it's getting closer, your more shallow water, it gets lighter, the water. It's not as dark. As you go deeper, your water gets darker in the deep water. Sometimes you're lucky to get a sandbar and you could stand tall on a sandbar in the water if you've ever done that. That's kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going back and forth And there we go. I have a nice clean sky and water picture. I'm going to let this dry for a moment. While I do, I'm going to dispense some black onto my palette. This is going to be for the trunk and even the leaves of the palm trees. We're doing 3. Working in odd numbers is a good thing to do with art. It's more visually interesting. I wet my brush, put it on my paper towel, the excess, and this is kind of going to take a minute to dry. You should look on an angle to see if it's shiny, then you know it's still wet. So while I'm waiting a little bit here, I can get my brush ready with black all the way around. And it's a round brush with a tiny bit of a tip to it for your palm tree trunks. So I'm going to start here, and I'm holding the tip of this paper so it doesn't move on me. And I'm not going to make a straight up and down line like a pole. I want to put a little arch to it, and I want to put a little unevenness to my trunk. It should go all the way to there, to the bottom of your page, and it should go past the water into the sky, your trunk of your palm tree. It should be bumpy because they are bumpy in shape. They're not straight up and down. So add a little wave in there. Thicken it with another brush stroke like this. And the same way, follow that up to the top of your palm tree where it's going to be. And make it bumpy again like I showed. Put plenty of black paint on your paintbrush. This is called a silhouette. It's a shadow of the shape you're doing. It's a nice simple technique for a start or a beginning artist. And so now I'm going to put a little dot here to be one palm tree limb. There'll be one here, one here, one here, one here. And I'm just randomly picking places to place it. It may not be exactly like my pictures, but close. Next, I'm going to connect this dot to the top here like this. And you're just going to make a line. It's going to disappear, so don't worry about it being perfect right now. And a little arch to it won't hurt, like the shape of a palm tree. And I know this isn't looking like a palm tree yet, but it will. And you just kind of give it a little arch and down here. Okay, that's one. Then we'll do another palm tree bark, starting or trunk down here. And we'll go up and we'll end it maybe right here. It's a shorter one. Again, you want it bumpy. And this side to make it thicker and bumpy. Make sure it's all painted in because you don't want anything showing. It's a solid black color. And then again, one more for the last big tree. Make it a little taller. And bumpy as well. Okay, and again, you're going to make your dots for your palms like I did with the other one very quickly. Want to work a little bit fast while your paints are wet. And I kind of turn my brush to create that little bit of more of a fine, cleaner brush and a tip to it. Now I'm going to connect those dots for this tree. A little arch in them, like the palms. At Florida or Bahamas or Hawaii, wherever, if you've ever gone to the beach, or Michigan, well, not Michigan, no, this is a tropical beach, sorry. Florida, Hawaii are good examples, Bahamas. Okay, so then I'm going to do another example of putting some dots for these palms. Now you're going to connect again, like so. And I know it looks almost like aliens or something, but it's the start of your painting. Okay, then you want to maybe grab a new brush, wet it, and there's a nice little tip, and then you could go ahead. I'm going to only do one tree. Once I do the one, you could do the others the same way. So I'm going to do the little one here. So what I did was I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to sweep down and make little palm leaves that come down like so. And they're going to be uneven because in nature, things are not exactly the same size, right? So we're going to continue to create the palm leaves by just doing simple little strokes down, and you want to kind of lift your brush up to create that point. If that helps at all with how to create the palm tree leaves. So as you can see, this is what I'm doing all with each of those lines I made. Okay, and you want to have one side kind of smooth and the other with the leaves coming down from the palm. Okay, you're going to continue to do that on all the palm trees like so. And if some of them, like this one, comes across, it could look from the... All right, so you get the idea. You want to continue to do this with all the palm trees. Once you're done with all of them, it should come out like this, as you can see. And then I always like to sign my piece of work. So with some paint, I just go ahead and put my name down there. And there you go. So make sure you work on your palm leaves for each tree. Take your time. And remember, be happy and keep creating. This is Mrs. Kim signing off for now. Have a great day. Bye.